Hi, I'm going to read something to you that is absolutely vital for you to be able to tell whether or not your pastor is actually a pastor or an imposter. So please pay attention. This is absolutely vital for you, for your family, for this nation, for the church. Okay, this is very, very important. So important that Mark 2:19 and 20 tells the same thing. Luke 5:34 to 35 says the same thing. And Matthew 9:15. I'm going to read just one of these right now. And Jesus said to them, can the wedding... Now, the disciples of John and the disciples of the Pharisees came to Jesus and they said, how come your disciples don't fast like the disciples of John and the Pharisees? They fast. How come your disciples don't fast? And this was Jesus' response. And Jesus said to them, can the wedding guests or the sons of the bride chamber or the friends of the bridegroom, depending on your translation, it's very important. Can the sons of the bride chamber mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them? The days will come when the bridegroom is taken away from them, and then they will fast. Okay? The reason this is because fasting is a grace that God has demanded and decreed for those who call upon his name as pastors, because they're standing in the gap. There's only 3 places in the Bible where it says God is said to wonder. 2 in the Gospels, 1 for great faith, 1 for no faith, and 1 in Ezekiel where it says God wondered because he looked for someone to stand in the gap and he found none. So the sons of the bride chamber, they were the ones tasked in a wedding, ancient wedding, Jewish wedding. They were tasked with guarding the bridal chamber, guarding the bride, protecting her, making sure that no false grooms try to get in, right? So this is what you call a watchtower. This is what you call a real pastor, a real prophet, a true servant of God, a true servant of Christ, a true servant of the church. If your pastor is not fasting for you, he's an imposter. Find another one. Tell him to go do something that because he's always doing. In Thessalonians, it says that the word can be preached in power or in word and power. I mean, they can be preached in word or in word and power. In other words, if he's not fasting for you, if he's not pouring himself out for you, Isaiah 58:10, if he's not pouring himself out for you, allowing God to make him that well-watered garden, it's the same message, different method. One has power of the Holy Spirit in it because he loves you and he cares for you and he's protecting the bride, the church. Or he's an imposter and he's just up there getting a following for himself. And it's very difficult to tell the difference between the two. But this is one of the sure biblical foundational ways of you guys being able to tell. And if he's not spending himself on behalf of you, he's an imposter. Get rid of him.